Gracias, Eiji. Toma tu piruleta. ¿Te piruleta, Billy? Y no tomas piruleta tú también. Otro sábado, otro policía, pollo, pintado de rojo. Vamos a continuar con Chicken Police, que... ¿Dónde dejé mi botella de agua?
We could only hope we'd arrived in time. If they'd taken Zip to the interrogation room, the hole as we called it, and beaten the truth out of him, we'd lose the trail and end up in a dead end. It was time to be fast and ruthless. God damn it, Zip. Why couldn't you stay out of this?
Porque Zip es un idiota. Por cierto, gente, recuerden que esto se graba y se resube a YouTube. Saluden a YouTube. Y si se murió al salir al aire, entonces el sueño de todo renacuajo es crecer para convertirse en locutor. O los renacuajos evolucionaron justamente porque querían ser locutores. Por eso evolucionaron con branquias. Son cosas que no me dejan dormir en la noche. Ahí estoy. Ahí. Saluden a YouTube, muchachos.
Ah, look who's here. The top of the cops.
Idiot's luck. They must have gotten soaking wet because of those holes.
Sometimes I wonder how these two are even still alive in a city like this.
Wonders of the world, Marty.
Mario, yo soy más de PC porque soy pobre. Y lo más barato es PC. Si me comprara una consola en estos momentos y me dijeran de nueva generación, ¿qué te compras? Me compro un Switch. ¿Por qué? Porque lo puedes llevar a todos lados. Y nada más ahorita que tengo el disfruta tu ducha antea, que te sea placentera y pienses en ella un poco. Que con cuidado, amigo. No, me refiero a que es más barato en cuanto a juegos. Y no me gusta emular, y ustedes lo saben. Si puedo tener el juego en original, lo juego en original. Si no se puede, como digamos A Link to the Past. Bueno, no, A Link to the Past ya se puede jugar. Y ya lo tengo en la Switch. Pero por ejemplo, uno de Game Boy, los Castlevania que están en Game Boy que no salieron de allí, cosas así, pues sí, no hay de otra, ¿no? En cuanto a qué consola me compraría, una PS4 no tiene demasiadas exclusivas que me llamen. Sí tiene muchas que me gustarían, como Shadow of the Colossus, bla bla. Persona X, PlayStation 5, demasiado cara para lo que es una consola hoy en día que tiene 3 juegos de exclusivo. Y muy caros los juegos. Xbox, no. Porque todo lo que tienes en Xbox, si te compras un Xbox, lo puedes meter en una PC y queda mucho mejor. ¿Por qué, Seyan? Ah, sí, adelante, Conqui. O sea, si lo quieres ver después, sin broncas. Recuerden, Fran, hermoso bebé, nos hizo el favor de hacernos este comando. Donde ya están todas las redes en un solo comando. Bueno. Y ¿y qué me falta? Xbox les digo, ¿no? Y Switch es la consola que he considerado más que nada porque sus exclusivos sí son exclusivos. Aunque los juegos también son caros. Pero sus exclusivos sí son exclusivos, ¿no? Como exclusivos de Xbox que van a salir que van a salir próximamente en PC. O exclusivos de Play que van a salir en algún momento en PC. Por eso. No soy más que un consumidor pobre. Ok, vamos a buscar a la rata sí. Bueno, técnicamente es un marsupial, pero yo le digo rata.
Martin,
Yes, Chief.
you know what I've heard?
I have no idea, Chief.
You think I'm stupid, birds?
No, we don't.
What the ever-loving fuck do you think you're doing?
Chief, if I may.
Sonny, shut the fuck up. You're not on duty. You're suspended, if you remember. So I'm not your chief right now.
Oh, we just stepped out for a coffee, Chief. Then we saw something suspicious at the Czar Club, and we investigated it, and,
Suspicious, right? You investigated, right?
yes, sir.
Do you take me for a fool, chickens? And what do you know about the burning ship that lit
No
up the
pueden
entire
culparnos.
time?
Estamos arriba.
Burning, what? Wild lords, that sounds awful.
Don't play innocent with me, Santino. You both stink like you're in deep, deep shit.
Well, you don't think we had anything to do with that, do you?
I don't know. But if you do, I will find out. You better know that.
I swear, Chief.
I've had enough of your swearing for a lifetime. Get the fuck out of my sight.
La hueca de
Yes,
la de
sir.
una vez.
Have a beautiful day, Chief.
Don't let me see you again, Santino. Or
I'll try not to be seen, Chief.
I'm not your chief. Get lost.
Perdón, que no había dejado lurkeando a Uta. Y a Uta se le tiene que dejar siempre en lurk. Ah, sí. Ok. Ya. Computadora, no empieces.
Sorry, boys. I can't let you do that. You know, protocol.
You and Protocol, Bosco? Don't make me laugh.
That's the case, boys, like it or not. Stop harassing the witness.
Well, what can I do? Sorry, guys.
Ah, a ver. Entonces, Bosco, ¿cómo vas a
You
dejar
two
hablar?
again. Yeah, if only I knew. This idiot called us on himself. He told us we have to take his statement.
And what does
Sí,
he
sí,
want to
no es
confess
pendejo.
to?
I don't know yet. We still can't get it out of him. But we're taking him down to the hole soon. There, he'll sing like a little bird for us. No pun intended.
Would you mind if we asked him a few questions before that? You know, just for old time's sake.
Sorry, boys, but you know the rules.
The rules, right. More like blood boil.
Yeah, more like blood boil. So
Ahí
sorry.
está. Perro faldero. Ah, vamos a hablar con...
I'm really not in the mood to meet Deputy Malloy or any of my ex-colleagues from the Predatory Division.
Ah, son las preguntas que
A busy day, sir?
Sonny, you think I'm just joking, right? Speak to me one more time, and I'll fire your ass. Get the fuck out of my sight, Santino.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Not gonna happen again, sir.
Me gustaría que pudiera
Did
acabar aquí.
anyone ever tell you you're a real pain in the ass, Sonny?
Only my mother, sir.
Tu pajarita, ¿quieres saber qué decimos?
Hey, Monica.
Hey, boys. I hear the city's on fire since you're back together again.
No, solo un barco.
Not yet, but all is not lost.
Metaphorically, I mean. So, how can I help you?
We need some information, if you're not busy.
Of course I'm busy, and of course you need information. But I'll help you, as always.
You're an angel.
Yeah, I know, Marty.
When did they bring in the trash panda?
Not even an hour ago. You're just in time. They haven't taken him into the hole yet.
Yeah, I can see. Listen, Mon, would you do us a favor?
Can I be honest? Not really.
Oh, just a small thing. For old time's sake.
¿Cuáles son los buenos tiempos?
Me and my big heart. So, what do you want?
Pues literalmente tu corazón se puede salir en
I'll go
cualquier
over
segundo.
here for some reason, okay? So that we can have a quick talk with Zip.
Okay, I guess I can do that. But you owe me one.
Debemos de deber como media vida a esta mujer.
We'll thank you somehow, I promise.
No, no promises this time. Shoes.
Shoes?
Size 35, high heels, black.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Bueno, al menos es directa.
Hey, Bosco.
Yes, ma'am.
Come over here for a second.
Right away.
Bubo doesn't have a high opinion of you, Zip. How do you know it?
You see these stitches? His weight. All of them.
Ah, I see. My condolences.
He's a good friend of mine. But the word friend is misspelled in his dictionary.
What do you think about this paper?
I've seen better, sonny boy, but that's not paper.
Do you know what it is?
At first glance, it's canvas. A piece of a painting, but it's too small and too blurry to make anything of it.
So, still nothing. Well, thanks anyway, Zip.
Anytime, boys. Are we done?
Está bien. ¿Tienes más
Have
información?
you ever been to the Nile, Zip?
Oh, I wish, man. But my kind can't get in there. Why, did you?
Right in the madam's room if you're interested.
Oh, so that's why you look like that.
Bingo. Did you know that the place has ties to the Wessler Empire?
That place has ties to everything and everyone in Clawville, boys. Even to the royal family. I'll bet my tail on it.
So, we were just about to listen to some sweet music when,
Didn't that damn jukebox break all of a sudden?
Oh, damn it.
¿Sabes lo que
Damn
tiene?
it, indeed, Zip. There was a wristband behind it, with numbers on it.
984-237-22 to be exact.
What? All that from memory? How the hell?
I have no idea either, and it scares me too. But
¿Tiene
that's not the
memoria
point.
fotográfica este pollo?
Tell us about it.
That is, if you want to leave this place on your feet.
Okay, okay. You got me. I'll talk, but only if you promise that the cops won't know about this.
Do we look like we're on duty?
Estoy pelando. Para. Ok, veamos qué tan buen detective sigue siendo.
Zip is a real opportunity. Who did you escape from? And why here, Zip?
Why? Because I like living, that's why.
How did you know they were coming for you?
I got a tip-off from a friend that I should pack my things and go if I want to live. But I had nowhere to run. Yeah, you know me. The hot dog's my everything.
So you thought you'd be safe here?
Of course. Ibben's people are everywhere, but, maybe it's harder to get rid of me at the PD.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Comprada. Vamos a atacar por ahí.
Those two meatheads called you a rat. Why?
Well, maybe because they needed a reason to get rid of me. I swear I didn't squeal to no one. Why would I?
Because that's what you do, even now.
This is different. Then, my life depended on not squealing. Now, it depends on me doing so, doesn't it?
That could be the case, but it doesn't matter now.
Descubriste, sí.
Thanks, Sonny. You know exactly how to cheer someone up.
What did he have on you, Zip?
You'll know the drill. I asked something of him once, and he told me one day he's gonna ask me for something in return.
And that day finally came, right?
Yeah. And I had to do it. Because even if I got out of it, he'd drag me back for good. Or worse.
Nail your hide to the wall.
Yeah. That's the least he would do. Believe me.
What did you have to do for Ibn?
I never hurt anyone, all right? Let's make that clear right now.
I never said you did.
I just had to get rid of a package for the boss. That was the job. Quick, clean, simple, right?
Yeah? What kind of package?
A very heavy one.
Dead bodies are kinda heavy, Zip.
How did you know it was a dead body?
I didn't. I was bluffing, but thanks for the answer.
You lousy chicken.
Zip's a secretive little specimen, but knowing his past, it's no surprise. I must take advantage of this and trap him with it. Why you, Zip? Ibn has many loyal henchmen for these kinds of jobs.
Because, it's harder to trace back to him, I guess.
He chose you out of the whole city for this particular job. Why?
He needed someone who knows the hive well.
The Hive. So, Roach Town, eh? Why?
Because I had to get rid of the package there.
You mean the
Porque
body?
Choco le tiembla la
It's
mano.
starting to get interesting. If they let you out, what do you think will happen?
I don't know, okay? Maybe it was a stupid idea coming here, but this was my best
Tienes un buen
stupid
punto, sí.
idea.
Es un buen
Maybe I'll win a
trashpad.
few days with it.
Or a few hours, more likely. If you help us, maybe we can cover this whole mess up.
You mean you can be bought, Sonny? What a time to be alive. The unbribable Santino Featherland.
I'm suspended, Zip, and I'm talking chicken to raccoon.
Oh, I see. You're a foul.
Vamos a
How
seguir
long do you think
recordando.
you'll be here under protection?
Hola,
Maybe a
Mizar,
few
feliz
days,
Navidad.
If I can stall for time.
The cell block is full, Zip. You'll be
Sí,
out
justo
tonight
antes de que-
if you don't punch
bueno,
blood
justo cuando
boil
te
in the
fuiste.
face
Bueno,
or something
ahorita
like that.
That's, not a bad idea. But I'd rather choose Bosco if it's possible.
Makes sense, but you'll be making coffee with one hand.
La cagué. Justo después de que te fuiste, regalaron 0, regaló 10 y Fran regaló 5. Y pues bueno, te tocó una, así es que ya no te tienes que suscribir. Pero el siguiente mes puedes hacerlo si gustas.
What happened to the body, Zip?
I don't know, Sonny. All I
Qué
had
bueno
to
que
do
te
was
cayó.
drop it in an abandoned part of the hive.
Where starvation's most prevalent, I guess. Where insects fight for their survival, right?
I couldn't have found a better way to get rid of a corpse myself. All that fresh meat must have been
Es un
gone in
juego
a
muy
matter of
interesante
minutes.
que se llama
Fuck,
Chiken
I don't
Police.
know. I didn't stick around to see what
Si me
happened.
permites un segundo a que acaban de hablar, explico de qué va. De todas maneras
You
en
make me
YouTube
sick, Zip.
You would have done
Estoy
exactly
subiendo
the
todos,
same
es
thing
una
in my
novela visual.
situation. Anyone would have. I got the order. I did what I had to. I wanted to survive.
Yeah, that's Ibn for you. Blackmail.
Yeah, something like that.
Zip may be secretive, but if he manages to open up, he's also honest. He's not trying to change the subject anymore, so I only have one thing left to do.
Okay.
Ask the right
Se
question.
supone que somos Sonny Santino, el famoso Crestatective, o uno de los famosos Crestatectives, que junto con nuestro compañero hemos resuelto como los casos más famosos, nos hacen novelas, nos hacen de todo, ¿no? Muy bonito el juego y todo, pero estamos a punto de jubilarnos a 121 días y llega una típica femme fatal y nos dice: mi jefa quiere su ayuda. Aceptamos porque nos dicen que conocen a nuestra esposa, porque la esposa un día de repente tomó al niño o a la niña, no me acuerdo, y huye de la ciudad. Y pues vamos a Sunny. Son increíbles los diseños. Si tienes tiempo de darte una vuelta y buscar Making of Chiken Police, de 10. Está increíble. Bueno, entonces el chiste es que una chica que es la novia del matón más grande de la ciudad, estamos como en los años 60, nos dice que la están amenazando, le están llegando mensajes de que es una prostituta. Y nosotros vamos a tratar de averiguar por qué está pasando eso. Y pues estamos envueltos en un desmadre. Si quieres ver toda la saga, esta novela, como me gusta mucho, la estoy subiendo a YouTube. Y ahí está, capítulo 1, 2, 3 y este es el cuarto. Está muy padre y la neta les quedó poca madre el juego. O sea, los diseños de personajes, todo te lo crees. Hay momentos donde hablan de los humanos, pero al parecer los humanos son seres de la mitología. Está muy raro. Y el mundo está hecho también muy raro, pero está muy padre. Ahorita que salga de aquí te enseño a todos los personajes. Supongo que a alguno te va a gustar. ¿Quién era el fiambre? Entonces quería echarle la culpa por fiambres.
What exactly did Ibn's man want with you? Did you squeal to anyone?
Ibn's gone mad, you understand?
Yo le voy un poquito más a los 60s, pero sí tienes razón, puede ser de los 20s, 30s.
The Chicken Police.
So, he's trying to tie up the loose ends before we can unravel the case.
I'm thinking exactly that. Do you know what it means?
Let me guess.
Yeah. I'm in mortal danger because of you, Sonny.
Stop being so dramatic, Zip. Did you tell anyone?
Other than you, no one.
Entonces, ¿por qué? Y obviamente tienes que ir investigando, tienes que ir interrogando.
Honestly, have no idea, Sonny.
Y como yo soy el besto detective,
When I threw it down in the alley. At
no me he
first,
ido
I
tan
wanted
mal.
to leave it there, but then, well, you know me, huh?
And
Sí,
that's the
siempre tener
whole
un respaldo.
story?
That's the whole story. At first, I thought it was some kind of, code. But on a wristband, it's usually an ID number instead.
Like on prisoners.
Exactly. But I know from experience that prisoners don't get bands like this. Not in Clawville. It looks more like something from a hospital.
Maybe you're right, Zip. While we're at it, was it Dr. Bubo who gave you the tip-off to get out of the hop dog?
Yeah, it was. Why?
Thanks, Zip. You've helped us put some vital pieces into
Entonces tenemos
place.
que regresar con Bubo.
Well, that's great. That didn't help me, Sonny. I don't want to rot in here or end up in an alley of the Hive.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
You gotta help me.
Be glad
Yes,
I'm
Jax.
not charging you as an accomplice to murder here and now. Just keep your head down. Understand?
I will, Boss Bird. I will.
That's more like it.
Es de los 30, sí. El Noir a mí me fascina. Y justamente, bueno, no nos fue tan mal. 4 de 5. Justamente el Noir viene de negro en francés y por eso le llama novela negra.
So you're telling me you have no idea what this is?
It's a wristband. I see the same thing as you. This was the only thing left of the dead body. And me, you know me, they don't call me Sticky Fingers for nothing.
So you just took it.
Maybe for some blackmailing?
Who knows? Maybe it just hurt my sense of justice. I wanted to know who I buried.
You're a real bastard, Zip. A real first-grade bastard.
Mira, tú le echaste 10 abajo y yo le eché 10 arriba.
Thanks.
Just lay low, Zip. Real low.
Thanks for the advice, Sonny.
So where to next? Where did that wristband come from?
I got bad news, Marty. I only know one person who knows about medical stuff.
Vamos a regresar con Bubo.
No, we were just there.
Sorry, partner. Bubo again.
Me cae bien Bubo. O sea, y los diseños están súper padres. Era aquí. Sujetos. Esta es la que nos contacta. Esta es la jefa, que es una gata que todos tienen que subir las manos cuando aparece. Nuestro compañero, nuestro arrendatario. Hola Plop, ¿cómo estás? Un ex compañero. Los diseños están increíbles. ¿Por qué Plop? ¿Muy cansado? Yo no me quería parar, la neta. Yo me tuve que parar, me dormí como a las 6. Y me tuve que parar a las
Hello,
10:30.
Ursula, dear. Oh, what's the rush? Is there something
No, yo me
wrong?
dormí como a las 6, 7.
Wrong. That dim-witted, insane, ragged, stinky owl. That's what's wrong.
Whoa,
No hay quien como tú, Plop.
It's all right, Ursula. Just tell us what happened.
What happened?
¿Y tú qué tal, Mizar? ¿Qué tal te la pasaste conociendo a tus
And
suegros?
Wrestlers goons. It was supposed to be the only day of the year we could have relaxed a little.
We're sorry, Ursula. You're right.
Like I care, Marty. I'm tired of this. Tired of the bitter old owl, and I'm tired of waiting.
And?
La mujer oso me desconcierta
Never
mucho.
mind. I'm going. This time, I'm going for good.
Hang in there, Ursula. And if there's anything we can do to help,
Anything? Of course there is, my dear. I never want to see your faces again.
Ouch.
I'm gonna try to talk to the old owl. All right?
Good luck with that.
Oh, and Ursula, thanks for all you've done for us. With the car.
You know, I'm starting to regret it.
That was...
Rough.
yeah.
But understandable. I only see Bubo once a year, and even that
qué
waits,
chido,
waits,
Mizar.
waits way too much.
Se subieron al
A lot of
caballito.
people feel the same about us.
Pescaron
Yeah,
algo
that's
rico. Yo siempre que iba a la marquesa era a montar y a pescar. Me encantaba pescar. Hola tú. ¿Qué le pasa a
Say,
tu mujer?
Bubo, about Ursula.
What about her?
Well, that's just it. What if she's not coming back? I'm a little worried about you, Doc. And you know that's not my style.
Well, don't worry, boys. The wind's blowing, the sun's shining.
And Ursula always comes back.
Exactly. There are things in the universe that are unchangeable.
Touching, but you should be prepared for the worst. I thought Molly was coming back too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Metiendo el dedo en la
I
llaga.
trust Ursula, Sonny. What else can I do?
Well, to be honest, that's all you can do.
En realidad es un trash panda.
What do
pero-
you know about this wristband, Bubo?
Zip said they gave these to patients in hospitals. That's why we came back to you.
Something similar, yes, but not exactly the same. It's different.
And?
And what?
What
Hubieran
do you
ido por
think?
unos pescados.
Where's this from?
No tengas que fui a la marquesa
How
con
the
amigos.
hoot would I know,
Bueno, pero es que era
Sonny?
con amigos.
What am I, some kind of
Hicimos una
psychic?
fogata, fuimos a
Can I put
pescar
my
a
hands
truchas
on
y
it and
comimos ahí. Fue
tell
muy
you?
padre.
Okay, let's try another approach. Do you have any idea why Wessler's men were looking for Zip so hard?
I don't. How should I know?
Y no, en el 31 sí vamos a estar aquí hasta que
He
amanezca.
had to hide a body. The body of someone Wessler killed. The wristband is from the corpse.
Really?
That rang a bell, old owl.
Well, boys, if I'm right, you're in deep shit.
That's more like it.
Tell us, Bubo.
So, Wessler, the wristband, and a corpse, huh? It looks very much like I know the connection.
El búho me encanta
Or
su
at least I
diseño.
have a hunch.
Out with it, Owlface.
Okay, don't peck me, chickens. Hobart Ibn Wessler has a relative
Ay, ¿me traes algo,
who
Misa?
happens to be a resident at an insane asylum. The band is very likely from
¿Me
there.
traes algo de
Wait, a
Tampico? Sal?
relative? What kind of relative?
De preferencia delicioso.
You don't
Y si me
know?
quiere, mejor, pero
I
nadie me quiere
thought
así
you
es
were
que...
the detectives. Anyway, Ibn Wessler has a twin brother,
En serio,
Albert.
nos vamos a ir por el
Albert
clásico.
Wessler.
You put it together very skillfully, Marty. Yes, Albert Wessler. He's a madman kept in solitary confinement.
Do you think he's the corpse? But why?
How the hell should I know that?
Thanks, Bubo. If what you told us is true, then this time we'll owe you one.
Y no cuando nos curan.
Wonders never cease.
Me mama búho.
So, Albert Wessler. Which asylum do you mean, Bubo?
It's got some fancy long name. I don't remember, but I have a brochure. Let me find it for you.
Thanks, Bubo.
Here it is. Let there be peace forever. Mental institution for ill and damaged minds. Quite a big fool.
Where can we find it? I've never heard of it.
It's a good 6-hour drive from Clawville. Maybe more. But you'll find everything in the brochure.
Yo iba a salir en el
You're the
Misa,
best, Bubo. You
pero
finally
pues,
proved
la
useful.
computadora premia, entonces quién sabe hasta cuándo pueda salir de ahora.
Now get your
Ay,
chicken
unas jaivas.
scratchers out of here while
Aunque
I'm
no me
asking
quieran, son
nicely. Just one more thing.
What's that, Bubo?
If that someone was really Albert Wessler, the trouble's bigger than you think.
¿Qué?
It's always bigger than we think, Boobo. We're used to it.
You don't
Y sí, eso dijo
understand.
ella.
Ibn Wessler never loved and respected anyone in his life like he did his brother
Oh,
Albert.
sí, hace un
So
chingo que
what?
no como. Aunque
Then
prefiero
the
el pulpo,
problem's
la
bigger
jaiba.
than we thought.
Pero el pulpo es
A
porque
cornered rat
tengo que
bites.
comerme a mi dios.
Well, thanks for worrying about us, Doc. But there's no way back from here. Too far, too late.
We're like hounds, old man. Once we've caught someone's leg, we never let it go.
Not while you're alive, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, goodbye then, fellas. And I wouldn't mind if you never visited
Digo,
me
yo iba a salir de
again.
vacaciones en enero,
Pleasure
pero la
was
computadora ahorita,
ours,
como podrás notar, ya está en las últimas.
That rat you mentioned was Zip.
Should I be surprised or what? I knew it was him.
Yeah, we knew you knew.
What did that old raccoon do this time?
Gibbon was blackmailing him with something. That's what we wanted to ask you. Do you know anything about it?
I don't care about Wessler's dealings, Sonny. I patch up whoever winds up here, and I don't care if they're cops or gangsters. It's the same thing.
Or gangster cops.
It's the same thing.
¿Qué?
Oh, brother.
Ok.
We had to gather ourselves, take a deep breath, and think over what we knew so far. What the chickens had I got myself into? What had I dragged Marty into? Moreover, what had we pulled the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases that changed things forever. But I wasn't worried about myself. It didn't matter to me. Too many pieces had been plucked off this old rooster.
Me
But
mama.
Marty's different. He's too good of a bird
La verdad tiene el
and too
corazón de
good
oro
of a
este.
cop to end up like me.
Y quiere a Marty como si de su hijo
A
se trata.
secret twin brother? Sonny, I'm starting to feel like we're really in a detective novel.
No me digas.
Cheap one.
Sí, bastante
Yeah,
barata.
But, listen, Marty,
What is it, Boss Bird?
I think it's best if we go our
Lo
separate
siento,
ways.
M, la computadora
What?
está muriendo.
Are you joking? I know you have a weak sense of humor, but there's a limit to everything.
I'm not joking, Marty.
Well, I certainly hope you are.
Whatever comes next, you don't need to be mixed up in it. You have someone to go home to.
Guys, damn it, Sonny. Can you hear yourself? What do you think? I endured all this to give up now? What do you take me for? No, pal. You're not getting rid of me so easily.
I just want you to keep your career and your life intact, you moron. Just accept it, shake my hand, and go home. Your wife, Laura's waiting for you.
One more word, Sonny, and I swear I'm gonna bash your beak in. I risked my life more than once tonight. You know why?
No, why?
Because we're a team. We have been a team for
Bro,
almost a
moment.
decade. I don't care what Blood Boil says or whatever's on a goddamn piece of paper. We're the Chicken Police, Sonny. And we always will be.
I'm sorry. You're right.
¿Cómo quiero que salga el 2?
We're gonna go to that insane asylum and wrap this shit up fast and clean. Yeah, just like you said, even if it kills us.
Thanks, Marty. Without you, I'd most likely already be sleeping the big sleep.
Birds of a feather flock together,
Son
right?
panísimas.
Like you say,
Nada
partner.
más que hay algo que te
Ah,
marcan
let's
durante
drop
todo el
this
juego
before you
y
start
todavía
crying
no
on me,
dicen por
okay?
qué. Y creo que no lo dicen en este juego.
I hope not.
Que Marty le
almost just
disparó con
did.
una escopeta a Sony.
Ah, clock off, Marty.
That's the spirit, the Sonny I know and hate.
You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
966. Pero todavía no sabe por qué. Ah, la cagué. Es que te digo. Tú nunca has tenido un amigo que te dispara, es que no es tu amigo. Se me olvidó el puto número. 5966. 966, sí. ¿Qué pasó, Mario? Es que Sony no está enojado de que le haya disparado. ¿Tú sí los conociste?
So where exactly is this place?
A few hours' drive from here, in the middle of nowhere. It's a creepy old mansion, of course.
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told
Yo
you
los
you
usé
can
hasta
still go back.
los... ¿Qué será?
Wouldn't you love that?
10 años?
No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
Thanks, pal. I deserve that.
You still trust her?
Es que ya no he hecho nada malo.
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean, you believe her?
Es que no he hecho nada malo, vuelvo a
I'm
lo...
sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Sí, como 93.
Yeah, that too. And
Sí,
the
creo que
death
somos
of
de la
Deborah
misma rodada, mi
complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Monty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Yeah, all right, boss. So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the hive is true, starvation, riots, arson, predation.
Le dieron eso a los
Telling
insectos.
me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again, and because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Wessler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right. Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Es que ya a dormir.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should. I've had enough stimulation for today.
You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds.
¿Me pueden llevar y encerrarme, por favor, en
Well,
lo
I'd
más
like
profundo?
to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally.
Mándeme un fax de su
Our
placa.
director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a
Demasiado
beautiful
amigable
starlit night.
para trabajar en una institución de salud.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
So,
We have to go there.
the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha.
¿No qué? Veo que lo notas. No me dejes salir.
You know,
We've met her.
maybe.
You've read.
Yeah.
I know. A closet that's closed for.
Please say the floor inside is covered with conspiracy theory papers and notes written with your own blood.
More like dirty clothes and empty bottles, Marty. Sorry.
You're no fun, Sonny.
Well, you'll get old eventually, too.
Never.
Y yo decía eso y luego me di cuenta que yo ya era viejo.
I didn't know you used to be a kindergarten teacher. But leather?
It's history, so back off.
Pues es que
I'm
cuando
touched
te
by the
hablan de la
trust you have
policía
in me, Boss
en
Bird.
los 70s, tienes que
There are
contestar.
things better left undisturbed, okay?
Yeah, got it. So this is them.
Yeah, the Wild Gentlemen. They were role models when I was a kid.
Lo único que no
must
sé
have
es
been a
cómo
weird
distinguir
kid,
las edades
which
de los
ain't surprising.
animales.
My idols were the White Wolf and Super Squirrel.
La ardilla atómica, porque siempre tienen que aparecer
The
ardillas en
White
este canal.
Wolf, eh? Explains a lot. You know, when I was back in Averia, Clawville and the whole let's live together in peace bullshit seemed like an unattainable dream. Those guys made it happen. The city rose from the ashes of the Great Fire.
Yeah, but look at it now. And what would have become of you if you hadn't ended up in Clawville? Maybe you'd even be happy?
Perhaps. You're the best, Bubo. Why did you keep that? Molly, my ex-wife. What are you? Ironic, I haven't dusted. It's a piece of... Come to daddy.
Mención de que tengo un nuevo lugar por visitar.
What do you think, Marty?
What? You care what I think? You must have hit your head pretty bad.
Stop fooling around, Marty. I'm serious. So what do you think about everything?
Excelente, no estoy grabando. Voy a tener que bajar todo el directo.
Well, I think we're in deep shit. But to be honest, Ibn Wessler is in deeper shit.
Do you think he really murdered his brother? But why? And what does it have to do with Natasha?
Pero si dicen que era el único al que respetaba, ¿por qué no sé?
It doesn't add up yet. Something's missing. Let's visit the institution and try to find out what we can about this Albert Wessler fella.
Exactly. If he's the dead body, we've got to know what the motive was. If we can't, and if he's still alive, we gotta ask him directly.
And what do you think, Sonny?
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a... courtesan?
Yeah, that too.
Listen, Sonny, about Molly.
Oh, just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life.
Que la gata era...
That's exactly what I'm
escort,
gonna do.
por así decirlo.
Forget it. Let's concentrate
Pero,
on the case and on making it out alive and helping
terminó
Natasha
siendo
too.
Whatever you say, boss.
resultando que su ex esposa que
Natasha's
escapó
really
un
in
día
danger.
It could be,
también era
or
escort del
she could
mismo...
even be behind everything.
Es que no es técnicamente
No,
un
you don't
prostíbulo,
believe
pero
that.
sí.
I'm not sure what I believe, Marty. Let's see. Things got mixed up at the brothel.
La cagué, se me movió el mouse.
Natasha used to work there.
Ah, no, es que
that's
mueven
obvious.
el orden de
And
las...
Ibn wanted to keep that a secret.
Y ahora, eso relaciona a la cocodrila.
A secret, it seems, somebody else had to pay for.
Entonces es esta, sí, mató a bien la pulsera. Zip se encargó de...
Somebody died for that secret. Zip hid the body.
Albert.
But he kept the wristband.
Albert. Es Ivan y Albert.
Who could it belong to? The dead body was almost certainly Albert Wessler, a resident of an insane asylum. But why did he have to die?
So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
Ahí no me puede el número. El conejo. 932.
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Tengo otro
Were you
favor que
sleeping,
pedirte.
pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
Yeah.
Sí, no mames, nos he estado sacando de aprietos toda la noche. Este güey va a ser mal. ¡Al manicomio! No creí que repetiría esa frase en mi vida.
I slept like a soldier. Empty. Dead tired.
Creo que eso es lo que me va a pasar hoy a mí.
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away.
Por favor, juego.
But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of... I'm here, I cried. But others... Who's there? Suddenly... just stood there laughing. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no. The poor devil.
Of all the great wild ones,
Greetings, miss.
is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you. The chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Okay. Este, Mario, pídelo para Navidad del próximo año y del que sigue y del que sigue y del que sigue. ¿Te late? Tú dijiste que querías que se confirmara algo. Ya se confirmó el Spider-Verse. No le pidas más a la vida, carnal.
Say, miss,
Recuerda que
what
si
can
no
you
esperas
tell us
nada, no
about
te
this place?
decepcionas.
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital.
Gran guerra de
Since
carne. Es
then,
que el
we're
mundo está tan
relentlessly
vasto
working
en
on treating
lore
injured
que no
minds
te lo
under the
enseñan, pero te lo
leadership
dejan
of Dr.
entrever, que me encanta.
Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Quetzal habla
Exactly.
bien.
Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
Mario, hay 887 kilómetros de distancia. Trabaja como enajenada. Yo trabajo como enajenado. ¿Por qué es tan necesario ese chip en tu vida?
So who
Dime,
is
¿quién te
this
hizo tanto
Dr.
daño de
Quetzal
chiquito para
exactly?
pegar yo?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
Chicken, se me había olvidado
That's
su apellido.
really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped,
¿No
is
estaría
he?
más feliz que te llegaran
Exactly,
a
Mr. Featherland.
3080 a tu
He
casa,
is
Mario?
very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so.
Así, nuevecita, cerrada.
Now, what can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, This case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't.
Ya
I
lo sabíamos,
promise.
solamente necesitábamos la confirmación.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
¿Qué tanto color?
This picture.
Well, it must have been made by one of the patients, so it's understandable.
It's the handiwork of our director. He's not only a scientist, but he's a great painter, too.
I see.
Well, it's lovely to have a hobby, right?
That's right, Marty.
Es el rey.
We should go to reception first. Let them know we're here.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly.
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell. And birds used to be
Más que
our prey
evolucionaron.
once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Es una amenaza bastante directa.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Lo interesante, pupitre y ventana.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is
Tiene mucho
Santino
sentido el nombre.
Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death.
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective.
Ahorita estamos
do
grabando para
your
YouTube,
job,
Mario,
and
entonces
I'll
no.
do mine.
Espérate al 31, mijo.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time. His first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
Reyes hagan ese tipo de cosas.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Okay, vamos a ver. ¿Qué me quieres decir?
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle. So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait. to be here.
Iba a decir algo tonto.
Alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
No te preocupes, Mario. Conecta los detalles e intriga. A ver si por ese lado.
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Westler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Se llama Quetzalcóatl,
We
pero
don't admit
para
anyone
cortarle
into
dicen
our
Quetzal.
institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite, so much so that his true emotions and thoughts could not be deciphered.
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Y yo también, ¿verdad? Ahora que lo pienso.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details. When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that?
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Sí, pero no creo que tengan ni idea de náhuatl de estos chavos. Y además lo leen como Quetzal. Quetzal. Leen bien Quetzalcoatl, pero dicen Quetzal cuando lo abrevian.
Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting?
From the first moment, he loved it. He was fascinated
Es el
by
cuadro que
it.
tenía Natasha.
But who could blame him? A little diversity, fresh air, a beautiful lady, and of course, on top of all that, he could finally do what he loved best: paint.
Which could be a surprisingly effective therapy.
It could have been. Unfortunately, these excursions have greatly intensified his seizures. They have become more frequent and extreme.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous?
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Tengo una teoría muy
Do you think
descabellada de
the
este juego.
painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye. Or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened.
Sí, con un accidente te cortas la lengua.
Some kind of...
O sea, sí cabe la posibilidad, pero está muy cabrón.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused. Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland, but even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out.
Le metieron la
He also had
putiza de su vida.
broken bones.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
I totally agree. Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
Sorry, Doc. I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
¿No será que ya no sabía pintar?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
Aquí estoy viendo un cliché durísimo, no sé si ustedes estén viendo más allá, pero...
anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's
Pareciera, ¿no,
most
M?
eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only
sea, es un
I
cliché
had a
muy
key
grande,
for,
pero...
was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must...
Nos habló
attend
bastante
to
para
my
tener
work.
mucho trabajo que hacer,
We
señores.
understand, Doctor. Thank you.
Vean nomás, soy buenísimo. Señora Jirafa.
Sorry, but
No,
I still
saqué
can't
90.
believe it's really you.
Hola,
Neither
guapo, ¿cómo
can
estás?
we.
You can't imagine how wonderful
Sé
it
que ya
is that
estabas
I
aquí,
can
pero no
help you
habías
in one
hablado
of your
nada.
cases. Does this mean it will become a new book? And maybe I will be in it?
Miss, those books aren't really...
Don't even tell me. No, I don't want to know. Let it be a surprise instead.
No, I didn't mean...
Leave it to me, Sonny. I'm good at this. Thank you, miss. Your words are very flattering, and we are honored.
No, I thank you. I'll never forget this day.
We won't either, that's for sure.
We're happy to bring you joy, miss. Anytime.
We need to let them know... Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Casi que...
Well, yes. I can't
Casi
let my
perfecto,
mind
sí.
wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my
Me
office.
equivoqué solo en una
I
pregunta.
see. That makes sense.
Es que tiene mucha razón esto, o sea, depende de cómo hables con la gente, el tipo de persona que sea.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our
Sí,
residents.
estoy seguro que usted tiene algunos
With
problemas.
the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
By the way, un favorzote. Me acabo de dar cuenta que no tengo moderadores en este momento. Si ven que aparece un bot o algo, pongan algún emote animado que así varias veces que se mueva mucho para yo poderlo bloquear en friega.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
Hola Brian, ¿cómo estás, bebé?
If someone
Es bien
got one
bonita
of his
pizza con la
eyes
patita de Lily al
poked
lado.
out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
En la mañana.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as
Me
possible.
dormí como a las 6,
But
7 de la
Albert
mañana,
certainly
Brian.
enjoyed
Y me paré a las 10 de la
special
mañana.
favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
¿Y tú? ¿Qué tal, Brian?
Well, that's surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
Nos quedamos... Ahorita te
It
explico,
seems
Brian.
that
Deja que
being a
gane.
Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Puedo. Siento una
Well,
vibración
I
en la
smell
cloaca.
paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
Ah, qué cool.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Es que mira, mi querido y adorado Brian. A mí me dieron, acabé el directo porque ya había empezado Mitch y dije, yo estoy muy cansado. Eché mi sillita para atrás. Y me quedé viendo cómo jugaba y así. Y de repente ahí... Voy a abrir el servidor y fue de... Y dije, bueno... Un ratito de Don't Starve no me caería mal. En ese ratito... Agarré y me puse a jugar. Acabamos como a las 3:30, 4 de la mañana. Dije, bueno, me voy a dormir. Acabé de hacer unas cosas que tengo que hacer aquí en la casa, porque ya saben que tengo hecho un desmadre y todavía no acabo. Dije, bueno, mañana me tengo que parar a las 10, 10:30. Entonces me voy a dormir. A las 5 fui y me acosté. Me hice así bolita. Me mimí. A las 5:30 aproximadamente, entre 5:30 y 6. Y de repente, como mi colchón está bien culero, me saltó un resorte que me pegó en las costillas. O sea, de repente estaba así y el resorte hizo poink y me pegó en las costillas y me quitó el sueño. Entonces amaneció y yo así de... Y como a las 7 logré conciliar el sueño. Y a las 10 me tuve que parar. Entonces estoy molido lo que sigue.
A small window, a small hope. The style. It's very familiar
Sí, ya viste
to
ese
me.
estilo.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little. No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
Ave estrella. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uno, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Falta el 9.
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient
Saber a qué
mansion
hora nos
filled with
dormimos por allá, pero
madmen?
sí trataré de dormir temprano. En realidad hoy no estar mucho
You're
tiempo.
right.
As always.
Vamos a jugar Chicken Police un ratito más.
Look at that. A letter. Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Se llama
Of all the
Torrifel.
wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily... Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that.
Pensé que no existo. No existo porque no me ves. Pero no soy. No soy lo que crees que soy. ¿Tú no piensas acerca de mí, o sí? Nunca, no. Yo pienso en ti, cada día, cada minuto, siempre. En mis sueños me vuelvo uno contigo, un alma. Tú sabes que... You know who I am thinking. Tú sabes que pienso acerca de esto, que pienso, ¿no es así? ¿Puedes sentirlo? ¿Puedes sentirlo? ¿Puedes sentir que yo estoy aquí también? ¿Contigo? ¿Tú lo sientes, verdad? No puedo controlarme a mí mismo por mucho. Perdóname. Por favor, lo siento. Pero no puedo ayudarle. El mundo se está viniendo abajo. El wall, el agujero del mundo se está pudriendo. Es que sí sería como el agujero. Bueno, la parte más baja del mundo está pudriendo y pudriendo. Todo se pudre alrededor de mí. Tengo que salir de aquí para convertirme en uno con mi destino y en uno contigo.
Albert was
Perdóname.
madly... What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions,
Que si
Marty.
nunca puedes hacer conclusiones
You're killing
precipitadas.
me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
You're driving me crazy. But all right, let's go home. Farewell, Miranda, dear. Lovely to meet you.
So, you'll remember my name?
Marty McChicken never forgets, ma'am.
Oh,
Furry gods. Let's go. Goodbye, miss. It was a pleasure.
goodbye, gentlemen. And happy investigating.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
If there's anything I can help you with, please just ask.
Thank you, Miranda. You've already helped enough.
Pues está mal. Sí, la voz de Sunny es
Oh,
increíble.
I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Chicken. Born to be nuggets.
Concentrate, Marty, for the god's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow.
Nada, le desbloqueé un logro por volarle los dos faros. Dispara. Ahí está.
Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Si no vas a ayudar, cállate.
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste, and it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning. So, we
Ya nos
got a
acercamos
case.
al final, muchachos. Yo creo que lo vamos a dejar acabando esto. Ah,
Natasha tried to show us the painting.
eso es esto.
And that painting would have shown us the way. To Ibn and Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion. Which made Albert
Natasha.
fall in love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his brother so
Sí,
he
es
could
lo
take
que
his
me suena.
place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course,
la acabamos hoy.
Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Too many
Así
coincidences,
ya la próxima
right?
semana ponemos
Well,
Minecraft.
well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
And his best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
So that's why the torn out tongue.
Y le rompió los
Yeah,
dedos.
Ibn couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away
Que
with
no
it.
fue Albert.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Well, if there's...
You're right, Marty. It's time to wrap everything up.
Lo que tienes que decir
Hey,
más pequeño,
Lewis.
Lewis.
You weren't awake all night because of us, were you?
I've never been this excited, Sonny. Seriously, it is a great honor to be part of the team. What is it?
You, Lewis, you don't stutter anymore.
What?
Just now, you didn't stutter. Not even a little.
Oh, I must be exhausted. It happens
Sí, el cansancio que no
sometimes.
puedes mantenerla cortada.
And it's back.
So, thanks again, Lewis. You always get us out of trouble.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who is grateful to be a part of an adventure of the Chicken Police.
Maybe the last one, too.
Hey, Sonny. Don't spoil his mood. He's so cute.
Pardon.
Nunca confíes en los
Nothing.
cute.
Look, Sonny. I think if we go now, there's no turning back. Not today, at least. So, are you ready?
I'm still thinking about it, Marty. The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer.
Qué hermosa es Natasha.
I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over.
Sé que la pintan así, pero neta les quedó poca madre. ¿A que no me gusta la cuervo?
Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind?
No había pensado en eso.
Don't know where to go? Go straight ahead.
Bueno, eso tiene
What could
punto.
possibly go wrong?
Si no sabes a dónde ir, ve de frente. Y con los dientes por delante. Me acordé del viernes que estábamos en el Skyward Sword y... Pobre
Here
Misar,
I
casi
am,
le doy
Natasha.
una... ¿Por qué hay
I
tanto
hope
color
you're
ahora?
waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting
Leroy
us.
Jenkins.
And Natasha
Si no
too.
conoces la referencia, vela a ver.
hope?
Te va a
If
encantar.
I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really?
Es que Max Power ya es el nombre de Chente. Chente dijo que quería otro nombre porque estaba Nemesis tiene su nombre normal y el nombre de que usa en Twitch, yo, Mitsu, y un día en el chat de Nemesis dijo Chente, yo también quiero otro nombre y lo bauticé como Chente Max Power y ya. CMX. ¿Ya te puedes estar quieta?
Hey, not so fast, chickens. Please excuse my partner. He didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know. Not as long as I'm...
We'll see about that, furball.
Sí, no te preocupes, pero...
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh yeah, now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Isn't that right, Gabriel?
Get the hell out of our sights while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays organized crime pays well in Clawville.
Are you surprised? The Chicken Police retired.
Well, they say the team's back together again.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Is this a mansion? Or a grand palace?
Or a small city.
Well, if it comes to hide and seek, old Wessler will have an advantage.
A serious advantage.
Huh, one of Wessler's ancestors, maybe.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this represents what he thinks of himself.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with organized crime.
Ibn was planning to leave the underworld.
When his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out his eye, killed him, and took his place?
Yeah.
Sí, se siente muy raro, ¿no?
Oh, this place has its own greenhouse. What do you think's inside?
Pero es que nada más las plantas son verdes y hasta el momento no hemos visto cosas
Could they be growing
de
rarities
plantas
in there?
como tal.
Or maybe some chicken-eating
Estamos
giant
fuera de la
fowl
ciudad, tal vez
monster.
tenga que ver con la percepción del sonido de la ciudad.
Oh, you just made that up.
La ciudad
right?
solo ve el
Nah,
rojo
I'm sure there's no such thing.
y solo ve el verde de los ojos de Natasha.
What the hell is it? Water tower? Turret? A frickin' lighthouse?
I think it's a monument to an enormous ego, Marty.
O sea, solamente ve el verde y
Well,
el rojo.
anyone who builds a tower this big must be trying to compensate for something.
Or he just has too much dough. This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Well, let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns. But I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty.
A lo mejor el verde tiene algo que ver porque el rojo sabemos que lo seguía viendo siempre.
Just don't let it be us. Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin, don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
What do they not understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss Katsenko.
Please, Sonny. I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin? It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko.
Vale, está viendo a ella.
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods!
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah.
Cold, stiff Deborah.
Please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentlemen that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary Chiken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
That's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler. I have no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, Chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even
Hijo de
tell you who
puta,
Miles
saca la
Nichols
escopeta.
were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Grow Chicken Style.
Not
Ya
yet.
por eso valió todo el juego.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
No,
Pintar
it's not
no
a
matar, tal
crime in
vez.
itself.
Y le falta la esquina.
This painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand up.
I'm not
Ese es un
surprised.
eufemismo.
But the corner is missing.
You're right, Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really. It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough. Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your
Es divertido
childish
jugar al
charades.
pollo y al ratón.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No. I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all
Por eso
along.
tú.
And you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
Eh, I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha.
More like a confession.
In which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and that darkness?
Odio propio.
What could you know about
Sabemos
hate?
bastante.
Huh?
Sonillo de... Ahora del interrogatorio. ¿Por qué siempre es la
Albert
bata?
is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course.
Whew.
What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. Eh, I didn't have to behave like Ibn.
Si eres un capo de la
I only
mafia, eso
had
es
to
muy cierto.
believe I'm him.
Why did you decide to take your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious, from the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you? What a comfortable excuse.
Comfortable? Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately.
No, no es tan
You've thought like
fácil.
this before, haven't you?
Y no solo hay un paso.
I can
Es
see it in your
coraje.
eyes.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler. But you won't get far with that.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
Why did you have to mutilate Ibn? Why didn't you just kill him immediately?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I loved my brother.
Weird way of showing your love, Albert.
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding
Tienes
the
un buen punto,
situation,
Mario.
detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother.
Siempre el
I
lobo
loved him
es...
despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies.
Dejemos que acabe de explicar.
And that's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Just an accident? You're a dirty, clucking son of a vermin, Albert.
Please, don't be
Hijo de
vulgar,
hiena.
Sonny.
Recuerden esa
It's
frase
too
para la
dangerous in
reina.
your current situation, and doesn't even suit you.
Sí, generalmente el lobo está más ligado, el lobo o el perro. Que bueno, hemos visto varios lobos y perros. Bueno, perros, lobos no hemos visto. No hemos visto ni como tal ningún animal salvaje.
Does it make you happy to control others, Albert?
I was never the type. Not until I become one with my brother. He was different. He lived for this. He wanted to rule everything he set his gaze upon.
Haven't you done the same with Natasha?
I did, detective. Yeah, exactly the same. And that's when I started to become one with my brother.
Do you mean before brutally mutilating and killing him?
Yeah. Long before that, detective.
Más o menos, Mario. Sí, sí, tienes razón, M. No, de los humanos hablan en un capítulo donde ven una estatua de un humano, como un Golden Award. Y dicen, mira la estatua de un humano. Y dice, esas son criaturas de fantasía. No deberías de pensar en ellas. Y como tal, las serpientes siguen siendo animales de compañía. No hemos visto como tal un animal de verdad depredador o agresivo. Bueno, al oso. Y vieron el humor que tiene.
What made you think you could deceive Natasha?
Because Natasha loved Ibn, in her own unique way. Yeah, and if there's anything that can blind an animal, it's love and hate. Everything revolves around these two things, Mr. Featherland.
Is everything black and white to you?
Bueno, para nosotros también.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything's gray in this world. Only two things have color.
Love and hate.
I see you understand now, Sonny. Yeah, we're not that different, you and I.
Albert, you're everything I'm not. And I'm everything you're not, believe me.
Yeah, if that makes it easier for you, detective.
Sí, pero es que Natura, o como tal su mundo, lleva menos de 1000 años de existir, Mario. Están en el año 990, creo. Entonces hay un lore adentro muy, muy pesado. Yo quiero que me digan, por eso quiero la segunda parte.
That was your plan. Take his place and live happily.
Pero no se sabe de los humanos, los insectos son maltratados como seres de segunda clase. Está muy raro.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
His what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to understand.
So you mean Ibn's here with us even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious. because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath, but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him.
Sí, o sea, habría que ver cómo evolucionaron Mario.
When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
¿De
When I
dónde
drew the
evolucionaron?
last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry.
Eso es cierto.
What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert. But we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr.
Y eso también es
Featherland.
cierto.
Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
What did you do that made Ibn get you locked up?
That's a sharp turn, detective.
It just came to me, you know? Where did it all start? Where did all the hate and jealousy come from?
Jealousy? What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, Albert. Alone, locked up at the end of the world, while your brother is one of the most influential figures of Clawville, driving an expensive car, living in a mansion, with the city's most desirable woman in his bed. Why wouldn't you be jealous?
Yeah, Albert was jealous of Ibn. Maybe he still is. But I understand why he did it. Albert was beyond control and dangerous.
What does that mean exactly?
Albert did our mother wrong. Poor old Mom. She never heard her fly. But Albert couldn't take that she was praising his brother all the time while Albert was just an unsuccessful, foolish, poor painter.
What did you do to her, Albert?
Albert killed her. It looked like an accident, but Ibn knew it wasn't. That was the last straw. Albert had to be locked up, and he agreed. He never said no to his brother.
Ya está hablando en
But he never
tercera persona
forgot
de
who
los
did
dos.
this to him either. Did he?
Ibn was really good to him. Visited him every week. Did everything he could. Even introduced Natasha in the end.
And that was his downfall.
Both of them, Sonny. And yours, too.
Did you hate Ibn or yourself more, Albert?
Albert hated himself the most ever since he was born. He idolized Ibn. But every time his brother stood before him, he saw what he could have been himself if he had enough strength. But he didn't. Albert had always been a coward, a pitiful nobody.
And now?
Finally, there's no more Albert. And no more Ibn either. It's only me, and for both of them, I'm perfect.
Can it be that the fear is making you say these things, Albert?
Stop calling me that.
I have to call you something. What should I call you? What name should I use?
Vamos, dime.
I don't know anymore.
Ya lo rompimos.
I don't.
I'm very close to breaking him. But if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover Wessler's wounds.
Oof.
Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was, simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so, distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate.
He conocido
You
mujeres así.
understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Was?
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became rotten under my hands.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
Está bastante
You
tocado.
can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr.
Lo dijo.
Featherland.
No, ¿verdad?
It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling. And infinitely red. Just like love.
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
Charlie.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
So long, Albert.
Me dieron un logro que se llama Plumeral Holmes. Pues no fue tan mal. Un 4/5. No, juego, no te atores. Me quiero cortar las bolas. Posiblemente la última cinemática o penúltima cinemática. ¿Por qué? Es en serio. Y por eso, muchachos, surge arreglar esta cosa. Es que ni siquiera se está usando todo lo de la computadora. La computadora está a un 38%. Quiero cortar la entrepierna y dársela de comer a un chiribito. ¿Qué hago? ¿Qué hago? hacer. Sí, se mueren en su totalidad con esa cinemática. A ver, cerré Steam, lo volvemos a abrir. Puedo poner la cinemática por separado. Vamos a ver. Hola Fran, no me digas que no cambié el juego. No, la cinemática mata el juego. Hola, ¿qué tal tu tarde, guapo? ¿Cómo estás? Ya me quiero. Queda un pedacito, pero supongo que ese pedacito ya no lo vamos a poder ver hoy. Este... Y es que les puedo enseñar la pantalla. Ah, muchas gracias, Fran, no te preocupes. O sea, no es que la computadora se esté muriendo. Miren, no es que la computadora se esté muriendo. Ah, ¿podría ser M? A ver, vamos a intentarlo. Así directamente de pantalla. Porque si no vamos a tener que dejar esto para la próxima semana o hasta que se arregle.